Hi guys, Jared here, and I want to talk about something interesting today, another one of these community questions videos, and today's is going to be about dream sequels or series or remasters or whatever you want of games or series or whatever that you really, really like. So naturally, since I'm posing the question, I'm going to start. And I'm going to start off with a remake of Resident Evil 2. I would absolutely love to see Capcom revisit Resident Evil 2 the sort of way they did with the original Resident Evil remake on the GameCube. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. That, to me, would be like my dream game. I loved Resident Evil 2, especially coming off of Resident Evil 1. It seemed to be like everything I wanted from a sequel. It still took place in Raccoon City, but now instead of just a mansion, the virus had spread throughout the entire city, and you had two quests, and if you played one and then the other one, you had like a tyrant hunting you down. It was just awesome, and I would love to revisit this with today's graphical technology that we have. I think it would be absolutely breathtaking and just downright amazing. The other one is the one that a lot of you guys want too, which is the remake to Final Fantasy VII. That tease that came out that Square Enix did when the PlayStation 3 was first sort of being shown or announced or whatever, and they did that like tech demo type thing showing Final Fantasy VII, I flipped out. This is not my favorite game in the series, but it just had such an impact on so many people. Especially, it came out at like the perfect time, right before the internet was really like there. So you still had like all the surprises, and I remember just the hype of this game. There will never be another Final Fantasy VII because the hype was just out of control. Not only were magazines covering it, but you had like the commercials and just word of mouth. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, Final Fantasy not on a Nintendo platform. This is insane!" And this really was the game, the cinematic masterpiece. As it says somewhere, what does it say on the back? Oh yeah, that was the line. Quite possibly the greatest game ever made. See? Right there? Classic. Anyways, this is what caused RPGs to break through to the mainstream in North America. And I just love this. And I would love to see a remake of it. And I think a lot of you guys would too. Another one, which I don't have the box with me right now, it's a Super Nintendo game. And it's not so much a sequel in this sense as it is sort of like just a dream of mine, period, is I would really like to see another Metroid in the 2D Metroidvania style there. It doesn't necessarily have to have RPG elements, but I would really like to have another 2D Metroid, another one like Zero Mission or Super Metroid or whatever. I would just really love to see Nintendo get that done. So Nintendo, listen to me, get that done. I was always hoping for a sequel to A Link to the Past as well, and that actually came true. So I'm going to use that as a basis for all these games. I'm really hoping that, with enough prayers, that anything is possible. So yeah, I would really like to see another Metroid game, 2D, just like those classic ones that I mentioned. I don't care if it's on the gamepad. I don't care if it's on the 3DS, and by the gamepad I mean the Wii U. I really don't care. I just want a new 2D Metroid. You know what? At this point in time, I'll take a new 3D Metroid. I'm a big fan of the Metroid series. I particularly like the original Metroid Prime and, of course, the 2D ones. I like the idea of having Samus isolated, alone, and you have that feeling of like almost like it's claustrophobic, the setting. And yeah, I really, really would love to see Nintendo go ahead and do that. The other dream game is one that I've already covered, which was Fear Effect. This was in yesterday's review, or at least it should be yesterday by the time you watch this. Hopefully it is. This was just such an original game. I'm not going to reiterate everything I already mentioned in the review. If you haven't watched the review, go watch it. It should be the video right after this one. But this tried to do some really unique things with the streaming technology, having the backgrounds and even like just in the environment, having little things like animated all over the place. It was really unique. It was a really fun game. There were a couple of issues, like I mentioned in the review, but they fixed a lot of those with the follow-up, which was Fear Effect 2 Retro Helix, which is one I'm going to be covering hopefully within a week or two. We'll see. It all depends. And they even announced a sequel to this, which was Fear Effect Inferno, I believe it was called, for the PlayStation 2. And then the company that made this was Chronos Interactive, I think they were called. And unfortunately, they went belly up, and that was that for that game. But the thing is, Eidos actually owns the property of this, which means now Square Enix owns the property of this. So I would really like to see this come back, because I found it was just so unique, the feeling that this universe gave off, and I would really like to see this come back. Now, I could have mentioned countless other games, but that's where you guys come in. That's why this is a community question. I really like this series. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from it too, so I'm sure you guys enjoy this. Reminiscing about some games of the past or potentially talking about things that could happen in the future. So, let's throw this at you. Which game or series or a whole list of games would you like to see come back or have sequels to or be remastered or whatever? Basically, it's like your dream game of existing series that are already out there. Maybe not. Maybe you'd like to see a crossover series, or maybe certain developers working together. Whatever the case may be, what is your dream situation? But let's say dream game or sequel or a series. And yeah, leave a comment and we'll get a good conversation going. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.